You think love can fix it. You think if you love them hard enough, they'll stop. But here's the truth. Love alone can't save an addict. At least not the kind of love you're thinking of. It's not because they don't love you back. It's because addiction doesn't care about love. It doesn't care about your tears, your sacrifices, or how much you've tried. Addiction doesn't speak the language of love. It speaks survival. Today I want to talk about loving an addict. And that can mean different things. You might be a family member, a friend, or in a relationship with someone who's struggling with addiction at any stage. Because loving an addict is one of the hardest kinds of love there is. Keepers, welcome to Recovered Addict. I'm Sunmisola Olusi, and here we talk honestly about addiction, what it really feels like, what recovery takes, and how families and friends can truly help. Whether you're healing, helping, or just trying to understand, and real answers here. So let's get into it. Have you ever had to tell your spouse to choose between you and the substance, and they were honest? Painfully honest, and chose the substance over you? Or maybe you threatened to leave if they didn't stop, and they stopped, or so you thought, until you found out they were still using behind your back. It breaks you, but here's the truth most people don't understand. It's not because they don't love you, it's not because they don't want to stop, it's because addiction doesn't work on logic. It hijacks everything: their brain, their emotions, their priorities. You can be crying in front of them and they'll still pick up. And that's not because they're evil or heartless, it's because the pull is stronger than the guilt. They hate themselves for it, but they can't stop yet. So when people say, just love them harder, talk to them, remind them it kills them, that doesn't work. Because we already know. Addicts aren't stupid. They know it destroys them. Telling someone it's bad for you, it kills you, is like telling a smoker cigarettes cause cancer. You're not telling them anything new, and it only adds shame. Then there's enabling, the silent killer of recovery. You love them. You don't want fights, so you help them just this once. You give them money to stay calm. You help them rap, or you agree to reduce it together. But love that enables isn't love that heals. I've seen parents who give money because when their children don't get the substance, they scream, they break things, they lose control. They think, let them have it. At least they'll be peaceful. But all that does is feed the monster. Real love doesn't mean keeping them comfortable in their addiction. Real love means setting boundaries even when it hurts. You never know who this might help, so please give it a thumbs up, share it, and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done that. Let's keep the light burning together. So, what do you do? How do you actually help someone you love who is an addict? First, never ever force them into a program. You can pay for rehab, you can book the best facilities, but if you drag them kicking and screaming, it will never work. I've seen parents call soldiers to pick up their children and dump them in rehab centers. They come out angrier, bitter, even more closed off. What's worse, they go back easily, sometimes almost immediately, because recovery starts in the mind. If the decision isn't theirs, the healing won't stick. You have to convince, not coerce. You have to make them want to go. Help them see it as their choice. Second, if you're close to an addict, have clear boundaries. Don't try the substance, not even once. Don't fall for emotional blackmail like, if you love me, you try it. Addicts can be masters of manipulation, not because they're bad people, but because the addiction teaches them survival skills in lies and guilt. Protect your mind, protect your peace, because if you lose yourself, you can't help anyone. And yes, I've seen people become addicted just from dating an addict. They started by wanting to help, then they wanted to understand, then they tried it just once, and suddenly they're both in the same hole. So don't do it. Draw your line and hold firm. Now here's the hardest part to accept. Sometimes loving an addict means letting them fall, because no one can save someone who doesn't yet want to be saved. You can love, you can support, you can pray, but you can't decide for them. Love alone can't save an addict. But love, paired with truth, boundaries, and patience, that can create the space where they finally choose recovery for themselves. If you're watching this and you love someone who's struggling, remember, you didn't cause it. You can't control it, and you can't cure it. But you can choose Choose compassion over control, truth over enabling, and hope over fear. And if you're the addict, please know your loved ones aren't giving up on you when they stop enabling you. Sometimes that's the only way they can still love you and survive themselves. So if you're someone who's been trying to love an addict, take a deep breath. You're doing your best. It's not your fault that love wasn't enough, because addiction is bigger than feelings. But don't lose your own peace while trying to fix someone else's chaos. Love them, yes, but love yourself enough to stay whole. If this spoke to you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And remember, love doesn't always save an addict, but it can keep the light on until they're ready to come home. Thanks for watching The Recovered Addict. Remember, recovery isn't just for those who used. It's for everyone who's ever been touched by addiction. If this helped you, share it with another light keeper, hit the like button and subscribe so we keep the lights burning, one story at a time.